speed. Hear this and hear me where we are through the service. I just want to share this to those of you who are from Nigeria, and even if you are not a Nigerian. Isaiah chapter 5, verse 20. And after that, I say grace and go. Message is over. This is for Nigeria. It's a woe to them. Whoever is trying to take the statement I will take, make sure you quote the scripture. If you don't quote the scripture, don't take my statement. Even if you're a blogger, quote the scripture. It's a woe to them that call evil good and good evil. That put darkness for light and light for darkness. That put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. It's a woe to anyone who will see evil and they say this evil is what? Good. Anybody who calls evil good is a woe to you. God speaking. Not me. It's not David Biomia who says so. It's a woe to you that will look something and it's bad and say this bad thing is good. And then you see something good and say this good thing is bad. It's a woe to you. Nigeria has come of age where every Nigerian now must stand up to say evil must stop. The destiny of Nigeria must be taken by the Nigerians. We can't watch politicians mess up Nigeria. They've done it, and it has come to a point where they think that they have every authority to do what they like. No, the Nigeria is bigger than the politicians. We must stand up, as Nigeria says, politicians is enough. 1 or 2 persons cannot take Nigeria for a ride. The nation is bigger than the individuals. Why I say so is this. When people anywhere in the world enter with force without being voted, they don't respect the people anymore. But the man you vote will ever respect you because he knows you can anytime ask for him to answer. Till tomorrow, they challenge Trump in America. They challenge Biden in America till tomorrow because they voted them in. Nigerians now don't want to be voted, so they are not answerable to the people. An American president will be answerable to Americans because they voted him. They are careful when they are doing something because they know the people, they are answerable to them. But Nigeria is turning to be another thing, becoming a monster, where somebody will not be voted yet want to impose himself on people. It's high time the church, other religious bodies, I don't want to call other religious bodies, the judges, the military, the students, every Nigerian will say no to very few politicians. Enough is enough. We must not call evil good. If INEC chairman knows that he will not be able to conduct election, no point for 306 or 305 billion to be voted. There was no point. They would have used it for education. No point doing an election that will not have any effect. Yesterday, many people did not go to vote because they were disappointed. They were disappointed. Many people in Nigeria did not vote because the first one they voted, what is it? But Nigeria cannot remain like this. No. Everybody must react. Enough is enough. We can't keep quiet. Every Nigerian, students, lecturers, church, even every religion, say no, don't call evil good. Call evil evil. Whether you like it or not, people have failed in education. They failed in security. They failed in finance, the economy. They failed in your education. Everything they failed, we thought they would only succeed in election. Now they have also failed in election. So what is remaining? As bad as some rulers were, at least they have some things you can remember them for. But I tell you, after these people leave, they will not remember them for anything. Life is not a... People can praise you.
All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you all. Thank you very much, everybody. I appreciate you all. It's another wonderful day today. Today is 6 Thursday, April 2023. Thank you very much, my people. The best that you can do for me right now is to help us to share and like. It's going to be another wonderful broadcast today, although you can see the headline, right? Yeah, it's not what anybody can be happy about. But meanwhile, we have a guest today. We have a very, very important guest that will be joining us anytime soon. So let me quickly acknowledge people in the comment section before it gets...
In the nearest future, you could be one of the leaders. So we pray. Amen. To become a man is not a day job. To become a leader is not very easy. Everybody's ambition is to become a leader and to become a rich man. That is the struggle. So my son, you should be ready to lay good foundation. Earlier the better. In the nearest future, you could be one of the leaders. So we pray. Amen.
You are the pillar that holds my life. You are the pillar that holds my life. Master Jesus, you are the pillar that holds my life. Lily of the body, you are the pillar that holds my life. You are the pillar that holds my life. You are the pillar that holds my life. Lion of Judah, you are the pillar. Chicken, you are the pillar. Daddy, you are the pillar that holds my life. Lion of Judah,
you are the pillar that holds my life.
Walking anywhere,
you are the pillar that holds my life.
Hey, yeah.
Master Jesus, you are the pillar that holds
You
my
are,
life.
you are the
Master
pillar.
Jesus, you are the pillar that holds my life.
I said, Jesus, unibu kalabati sinduwe. Ibu kalabati sinduwe. Ojo biebe, ibu kalabao. Ibu kwa kalabano. Ibu kwa kalabati sinduwe. Ojo biobi ko ibu kwa kalaba. Chika nije ibu kwa kalabao. Ibu kwa kalabati sinduwe.
All right. Thank you very much, my people. We are back now. I guess everybody can hear me. How you guys doing? I can see more people joining us right now. Unfortunately, the screen is full. I can see more people trying to join us. I don't know how it be now. Sometimes it's like this. The screen is already filled up already. Yes, I appreciate you all, my people. Thank you for your time with us. Remember, like I said before, when we finally have our guest, two things involved. Somebody, the last person on the screen will be removed, and two, for you to pass a question, you must turn on your camera. We first talked this one yesterday, so if you just know, so you know, go turn on your camera to pass a question today. It is better you just give way for those that is willing to come in and turn on their camera, because I think it will be more respectful, you know, to turn on your camera due to the kind of person we're having here today. So meanwhile, I appreciate you all, my people. Let me quickly start accepting my people in here. Please, everybody stay mute. I'm going to mute you. I can see almost everybody's unmuted. Let me mute everybody. So that the noise or distraction from the end will not come to the broadcast. Okay. All right. I'll start with yeah. It's already full already, not verse. I see more people are still trying. Don't relent. Continue to try in case anything happen, because sometimes people they log out like that. You can see it's filled up already. So we only have 10 spots. Like I said, we don't select people to come in. We post out the link, and people just come in naturally. Yeah, but for now it's filled up. But like I said, continue to try. I wish I have the power for us to have more than 50. I would have been doing that Some people have suggested we should be having Zoom. It's not easy. Having a normal broadcast like this with just 10 people would spend 6 hours. If not Zoom, maybe not 78 days would spend for you. Turn on your camera. If you did not turn on your camera, I'm going to remove you, put you on the backstage. And you can't pass a question if your camera is not turned on. I appreciate every one of you. Let me bring in our guests. Turn on if you okay. Let me put you on the backstage, everybody. Once your camera is turned on, I will bring you back. Okay. Turn on your camera. Let me put you on the backstage. Anybody that didn't turn on their camera, I'll put in you on the backstage. Busy brains on the backstage. Okay. If you, those of you on the backstage, once you turn on your camera, I'll bring you back. But if you did not turn on your camera in the next 2 minutes, I'll remove functionality so that somebody else can join. So yes, Busy Brains, I'm not sure you want to turn on your camera today, but I'll wait for a minute. If you did not turn it on, I'll just remove it temporarily so that somebody else can take the space. I can see we have about 200 people straight away. Where will I come from? They want to join the screen. What's happening here? Just okay. Let me welcome in my guest.
Elvis, can
yes?
I please give to Naija my space and I will be on the background watching?
Yeah, but you can't guarantee if Naija can take your space because
anybody can.
Okay, then that's fine. Just leave. Let's see who's going to take it. Thank you. Okay, thank you, madam. I'm removing you right now. I don't know. Say, my park get fast like this. So what did they happen? 390 people in the back. They make you calm down, my people. Turn on your camera, and then you just came in. Okay, good. You turn on your camera. That's wonderful. Okay, Busy Brains is not ready to turn on the camera. I'm removing her temporarily. So we are waiting for one more person to take that spot. One spot left. Your camera must be turned on for this to happen. Thank you. But Victor, you are back again. Your camera is turned on. Wonderful. So everybody, please stay mute. Stay mute. But I don't understand. Okay, let me welcome my guest. Good evening, sir. I really do appreciate you here today. I don't even know how I'm going to introduce you today because you recently you are chief, you are professor, you are son. So, sir, please, I would like you to tell me how to introduce you. I don't want to make mistake. Good evening to you, sir.
You forgot one thing. You forgot the Apaka Vigi.
You can introduce me. Exactly. Somebody has got the name there.
Apaka Vigi.
Edo land. And you know, Edo land extends to Onitsha, Uroboland, up to Owonodo State, up to Republic of Benin, up to Eko. You know, Eko Lagos actually is taken from Ukbeko, that is small quarters in our language. So Akpakpa Vigigvi Edo land is the generalissimo or traditional war commander of the entire Edo nation. God bless you all, my brothers and sisters. Mike Ozekhome is my name.
Okay, thank you very much. I really do, appreciate you joining us today. Trust me, we have been waiting for the past 3 hours for this, and my audience have been asking me, oh, okay, when is it coming? When is it coming? But I'm happy that you are here with us.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. It's good to have you here. Personally, I have so much respect for you.
Appreciate you all. Appreciate you guys.
Thank you, sir. I even though I can say this privately, but I can say this publicly as well. I have so much respect for you because you always stand for what is right. We currently have 1,300 people watching us across. Hopefully that is going to increase as well because we are streaming from 3 platforms right now. Yes, thank you very much, my people. Please press the like button and help us to share. Yes, you all know the situation we are currently facing in Nigeria. Yes, we can pass in more questions to him, depend on what he can answer. You understand? He knows better than us. He's a senior advocate of Nigeria, Chief Mike Ozekhome. He's from same state from where I came from. I'm sorry, I have to say it how it is. So
you omitted prof. Yes, so it's a prof.
All right. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, sir. All right. Chief Mike Ozekhome. This is the second time you are coming to this platform. I'm very, very honored to have you here. I appreciate you always, always, always. Now, the reason why you are here today, sir, is simple. You know what we are facing. You know the plight of Nigerians right now. You know what happened in 2023 presidential election. You know the cry and the plight and the concern of Nigerians, what happened during the time of the election. And then the petition is currently going on right now. Yesterday, another son, your colleague, came on air to talk to us, Dr. Olisa, came on air to talk, especially, specifically, he was focusing on the judiciary, saying that they are too slow in their judgment, that this petition of a thing can be sorted out within 7 days. Before I'll start taking questions, but I would like you to address that, because since it's over a month now since the petition was submitted, we have not heard anything from the judiciary. What is going on? Please, talk to us.
Yeah, thank you very much. Let me give a contextual rider by saying, since I've been witnessing and observing and voting in elections, in my 65 odd years on Mother Earth, I will personally say that the last election is the worst election I've ever seen or participated in since I knew myself, and also as an historian since the amalgamation of the Northern Protectorate and Southern Protectorate and Lagos Colony to found what we call today Nigeria on the 1st of January 1914. I've never seen elections so vacuous, elections so immoral, so lacking in integrity, elections so barren of everything that can be called decency. An election that was militarized, an elections where the votes, where they were counted, they never counted. An elections where the technology introduced by INEC itself was breached more in disobedience than in obedience. An election where the new technological devices like beavers, like IREV, were made to play second fiddle. An election where might was right. An election where literally the Hobbesian state of nature was enthroned. That state of nature where life was short, nasty, solitary, and brutish. I saw the election. And because Nigerians were not used to go into the trenches to fight, and I don't believe in that because I fought in the trenches all my life, they have decided to approach the course of law, which under our present legal organogram we call the Election Petition Tribunal. Now, my good friend, Dr. Olisa Agbakoba, I heard him loud and clear. In fact, I called him last night. Then we spoke a little, but today we spoke at length on this issue. I said, my good friend, you mean well in your postulations. These are what we call moral adjurations. There is a difference in law between what we call the lex lata of the law and the lex delege ferenda of the law. What does it mean? The lex lata is the law as it is now. The lex delege ferenda is the law as you would want it to be. Only says my personal friend, well-respected Nigerian. And for those who did not know, on the 15th of October, 1987, Ulisa Bakoba, myself, and 4 other Nigerians, who were then very young, in our late 20s and early 30s, we came together to found the first indigenous human rights body in Nigeria, called the Civil Liberties Organization, who became the father of all other human rights bodies and NGOs that you see today. So I told him that this your theory, as beautiful and attractive as it is not possible, it's not achievable. 7 days to finish an election petition? I said, that's not going to be. Number one, for you to do that, you have to first change the Constitution of Nigeria. The Constitution is the birth certificate of a country. It is the font a origo, what we call the grand norm, the highest law, beyond which there is no other law terrestrially except the law of God when you go celestial. That very law tells us in section 285, subsection 6, that an election petition before a tribunal, like we have it now, which is the Court of Appeal, the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal, shall have 180 days to deliver his judgment. 180 days. Even if I'm not a good mathematician, I know that is equivalent to 6 months, which is half a year. That is the provision in the Constitution. It was again reiterated in section 132 of the Electoral Act that you have 180 days tribunal to decide your election petition. So I asked my good friend, how will you abridge this time of 180 days? And guess what? Section 285 and then section 132 subsection 8 again say that after the tribunal has delivered its judgment, the Supreme Court, which is the apex court of the land, the highest court at the apogee, the pinnacle, has 60 days to deliver its judgment. 60 days is 2 months. So if you add 2 months to 6 months, that is 8 years. So for an election petition that was filed on the 21st, about 21st of March, because the presidential election results were delivered in the wee hours of the 1st of March, Nicodemously, when right-thinking Nigerians were asleep. So you have 21 days from that 1st of March, and by statutory interpretation, that day is included, 1st of March. So all the presidential candidates had to rush, we all had to rush to make sure that we filed our election petition on that last day, which was 21. Elvis, ask yourself the question, what was it that was delaying us? Because I want to crush that theory of 7 days that it is not possible. What is it that was delaying us? When the results were announced, Nicodemously, the first we did as lawyers to our various candidates was to apply to INEC, the Independent National Electoral Commission, which is the ombudsman, which is the authority that midwives election. We need the electoral materials certified. We want them certified. We want to assess your IREV. We want to assess everything concerning this election, and we want you to certify. Elvis, as I talk to you today, I was again called by some of the management staff of INEC that some election results were today certified, and that some IREV had been seen from 2 states. Today, I was called. Today is 6th of March, 2023. 6th of April, God bless you. 6th of April, 2023, for an election that took place on the 25th of February, 2023. Now, when the petitions were filed, the next thing was how to serve your opponent. Of course, if you believe you have won an election, whether fairly, whether illegally, whether wrongfully, whether transparently, whether with integrity or lack of it, the first thing you will do as a politician is to begin to dodge service, notwithstanding that you have challenged everybody, go to court. We couldn't serve the presidential candidate of the APC. What do you do when you can't serve? We had to go back to the tribunal again with a motion ex parte. A motion ex parte is a motion you hear behind your opponent by telling the tribunal, let us serve this person either by pasting at the last known address of his house or at the APC national headquarters on the wall. That itself again took another 4 days before these things were pasted. Now, we are all waiting. Both the PDP team and the Labour Party team for the APC and INEC and Tinubu to respond to the petition. If you were in their shoes, I don't blame them. You will latch on and take the fullest day. You will want to take the last day donated to you by the Constitution and the Electoral Act for you to file your response. You will not want to quickly go to the hangman who has the sharp knife, like a guillotine, to say, chop my neck off. So what do? You use the late 30s as they are doing now to make sure that you are not served, and when you are finally served, that you entertain and utilize the maximum days that the law allows you before you can drop in. In all this, from 1st of March, when results were declared, to 6th of April, we have not yet got a response. But they have not yet done anything wrong, because they are still within their rights, constitutional right, statutory right. By the time they file their response, I want to tell you what will happen. Like Nostradamus, the man who saw tomorrow, like the oracle at Ileife that gazes into the future to pronounce the next all need to be. I want to tell you what will happen next. It's not just going to be a reply immediately. They are going to file a series and tons of preliminary objections, which they are entitled, again in law, to do. You cannot stop somebody from filing his own preliminary objection. Those preliminary objections, I can assure you, maybe for the next 1 month. Preliminary objection is like skirmishes. It's like shadow boxing. You have not yet started the boxing contest. You are still shadow boxing. It's like an aircraft trying to take off, and it is revving, or a car trying to take off, and you tell your driver, rev it. When you rev it, is that vroom, vroom, trying to warm it up before you take off. That is what you are going to see in the next weeks ahead. So, until you amend the entire constitution by saying, hello, guys, 180 days, no more. We want to make it maybe 90 days, 60 days, or 30 days. Then in creating that time, Elvis and listeners, God bless you all, you must also look at what is possible. Nigeria has over 170,000 polling units in Nigeria. And the polling unit is the mantra of an electoral contest. It is the irreducible minimum. It is the question that you must answer. How did the results come from the polling unit? From EC8A. How did they get to the ward? From EC8B. How did they from ward get to the local government council? What in the US, for those of you who are in the US, you call county council. From EC8C. Now, how do you prove your election results in over 170,000 polling units in Nigeria? By what magic? In 2019, for example, I was one of the lead counsels in the Article legal team. We lined up about 401 witnesses. About 400 witnesses, 400. At the end of the day, by the time the period given to us by the tribunal expired, we were only able to call 41 witnesses out of about 400. Don't forget, some of these witnesses we will call will be like expert witnesses who will show that the way you see these beavers scientifically is different from the way you lawyers and you laymen and laywomen know it. This is how it works. We call them expert witnesses. They have to be subpoenaed, some from abroad. They have to give evidence. When they give evidence, the respondents must also be given time to cross-examine them. And there are 3 respondents. Asiwaju Tinubu himself, the APC, and the INEC. Each of them have 3 bites on the cherry. Each of them have also lined up their lawyers, senior advocates of Nigeria, to lead their legal team. So whilst the petitioner is only having 1 bite by defending the political party and the candidate, your opponent has 3 bites. And there's nothing you can do about that, because that is the law for now, except to change it. So that was why I called my good friend, Ozekhome, and I said, my brother, this your theoretical postulations is so beautiful, so attractive, but I'm afraid for now it is utopia. It can be done. He looked at it, as he explained to me, from the angle of interpreting certain constitutional provisions that have been raised by all parties. For example, Section 134. What is the status of the FCT Abuja? Is it to be taken like a state? Is it 25% in 24 states? And then another 25% in FCT Abuja? The latter being my view. I've done a write-up on it, which I call the Bodmas, finding the Bodmas X. Finding the Bodmas X is the 25% of the FCT Abuja. Bodmas that we were taught in primary school and secondary school. You have to find the X. And my postulation is that FCT Abuja is a constant. It's a constant. Whilst the other 24 states are variables. Then I've given examples. If you say, if WAEC, West Africa Examination Council, says, Elvis, for you to be admitted to university, just an example, I know you're already a graduate and you are doing great. Elvis, for you to be admitted into the university, you have to have 6 credits, 5 credits. And you have to have credits in 5 subjects and mathematics. You must have 5 subjects and mathematics. If you have 5 subjects, even if it is not credit they are asking for, you have A's in 5 subjects. Let's say you even have A's in 8 subjects, not even 5, but you have an F, failure, admit you. If I tell my wife, hello, baby girl, this boy living with us, Okpokpo, treat him like our 7 children. Treat this Okpokpo living with us like our 7 children. That like is to say she should be nice to them like our own children. But does that make Okpokpo my biological son?
No.
The answer is no. It's not. Yeah. So if I now say, bring my 7 children and Okpokpo, and you bring 7 children, the next question I will ask you is, where is your Okpokpo? Because I have not seen your Okpokpo. That is why I called it a constant in BODMAS. Which the variables must be worked through to answer it before you can say QED. Quite easily done. We must show how you work it out. So for now,
okay,
let me make it clear, 7 days. Because even if you are going to do all those statutory interpretation, which I've just talked about, you want to interpret what is 25%, you want to interpret whether there was compliance with the laws or no. How many days will it still take? You should file your own motion. The other people have their own time to reply. Even now under the pre-election and the election practice directions, where you have like 10 days to do something, your opponent has 7 days to do something, then you have another additional 3 days to again further respond. So in all, even for simple interpretational matters, constitutional matters, you find that that constitutional matter cannot even be interpreted within 3 weeks to 4 weeks. I rest my case on that issue.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Senior Advocate. I appreciate it. We have to give you time because there's a lot of tension, especially on this platform. This platform stands for a better Nigeria. So you coming in today, I can see a lot of people in the comment section already. They are very, very happy having you here. Same here as well. So there's a lot of questions we're going to be putting into you today to answer. Before I
today or another day.
Now, sir, before you leave.
As few as possible. Because I'm going to go into another Zoom meeting, which I'm actually chairing. God bless you.
Okay. Don't worry. We are going to make it very brief. You know, we are not going to take much of your time. Now, let me start bringing in my panelists. So everybody, please just go straight. Mute yourself, everybody. As I call you, just go straight to your question because he doesn't have enough time like that. But I'm going to start with the first person. You know, give us a mandate. My brother, go ahead straight. You have 30 seconds for your question.
Thank you very much, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Professor Dr. Mike Ozekhome. I'm actually calling here from Texas. Thank you so
Texas.
much. Yeah.
God bless you.
Thank you. Amen. On you too.
Hope you are putting on your Texas bowler hat.
Well, I mean, I've been in Texas all my life here in the United States, and one thing about Texas is you can't mess with Texans, and so as a Texan, I have who I support, even though I'm not in Nigeria, and they're trying to mess with the person. So we're saying that no, you can't mess with this person because we don't take no shit. So my question to you, sir. Now, what do you think will be the implication of having an illegitimate president in Nigeria should this whole thing go down?
Okay, that's fine. Thank you. I'll take
question.
Should I take 2
questions? No, just a moment. Let me quickly answer that.
Okay.
The question Thank you, Elvis. So that we don't pile them up.
Okay.
The question of legitimacy or illegitimacy of the president has to finally be pronounced upon by our courts of law. It depends on what the court says. We saw it play out in Kenya. We saw it play out in Malawi, where people were already elected, were dethroned. We have seen it play out many times, even where some obas have been put on the throne, they were against it, removed some 10 years later, some 15 years later. I cannot predict what will happen at the presidential level. But if your question is whether in the interim, while the case is going on, whether the president-elect will be sworn in, the answer is yes, because nature abhors vacuum. Come 29th of May, 2023, a president, whether legitimate or illegitimate, whether with albatross on his neck or not, has to be sworn in, even as the election petitions progress. That does not mean that when a case is now made out, he cannot be removed from office. That was why I quickly gave the example of Kenya and Malawi. And they are in Africa here, not in your America.
Because of time, sir.
You see?
Because,
yeah.
Because of your time, I need to pass.
And that is where, let me say this, Elvis. That is where,
okay.
Let me say this. I'm not one of those who believe in coup d'etats or takeover of power by unlawful means, which is proscribed by Section 1, Subsection 1, 2, and 3 of the 1999 Constitution. I was there during the military era. I had up to 12 detentions. I was there. We were in the trenches. So we know what it means to have a military interregnum, because they were never trained to govern. So they are like locusts. They cannot do us any good. And so when a national call in 1993, I think, or 1998, was put there as an interim president, we noticed that Justice Dolapo Akinsanya, in a judgment she delivered, in a case instituted by Chief Gani Faremi of blessed memory, I was part of that case, declared that government illegal and unconstitutional. And that gave Philip to the palace coup that was immediately carried out by late military dictator, General Sani Abacha. So an interim government has no place under our present constitutional democracy. It almost happened in America about 2 years ago when the mob descended on the Capitol. The vice president was there, who is also the Senate president. And the Speaker, Pelosi, was also present there. And the Senate president was there. So the entire creme de la creme of the American governance leadership were housed there in the Capitol. If it were a banana republic, that was a coup d'etat. But what happened? Because America, like many other Western countries, have strong institutions rather than strong men and strong women. The Washington, D.C. Metropolitan Police were called in immediately, and they were able to hold fort until the federal guards and other units were called in to quell what many of you did not know was actually a coup d'etat. But it was quelled. So I do not believe in any interim government. It will draw us back because there's no doctrine of necessity to be invoked to bring in about. We can only go the constitutional way of putting our grievances before courts of law that we ourselves have set up as human beings in the society.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to take 2 questions straight away before we come back to him. I'll go to CM now. Oga CM, please tell us where you're joining us from and your name, and go on with your question.
Good evening and welcome, Professor Mike Ozekhome, Senior Advocate of Nigeria.
God bless you, my brother.
Commander of the Order of the Naija, Federal Republic, Chartered Institute of Arbitrators, Master of Laws, Doctor of Philosophy, Doctor of Literature, the Akpaka Vigi Vigi, the only. Now,
you have been reading my history. You will pay for it. You have to pay consultation for reading my history without my permission.
Even I read your latest write-up to the reply you gave to Kayode Ajulo, but you've already discussed it, so I won't go into Okon and the Corpus and the Andrew. So I will leave that. Now, the question I want to ask, by the way, I'm joining from UK. The question I want to ask is this. I'm asking this question because I know you are well informed, you know the current affairs, you know what is going on, so I wouldn't give a background anymore. But by the question, you will know where I'm heading to. The question I want to ask is this. If Alhaji Bola Ahmed Tinubu, by omission or commission, by hook or by crook, is allowed to be the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, within the theory you've just postulated, that is the lex delege ferenda or the lex lata, would there still be any moral justification or rationale for the establishment of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency in Nigeria?
I will, with all respect, not answer that question. Permit me not to, because I think one of the parties has put forward an argument from that angle. And in law, we say such a matter is sub judice. You can no longer interrogate it because it is taken that you are prejudging it before the election petition tribunal. So if you look at the issues I spoke on, I did it cautiously, having at the back of my mind that I must not speak on matters that are now before the tribunal, which are sensitive. But the views I've expressed today are views that are already in the public domain. And all you need to do is to say, just Google Michael Ozekhome, Bodmas Mass, Michael Ozekhome, 25%. And you will see that everything I've said today, I've already said them and they're in the public domain. But on this question, I will not answer it. Permit me. God bless you.
That's fine, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, can I switch? Let me substitute it, please, because it didn't answer. Please, I have this one is simple.
Go straight now. Go straight. Go ahead.
Yeah, this one. Then, what is your opinion, or how do you explain the fact that 3 elections were held on the same day for House of Reps, House of Senate, and the post of the president? 2 of them were uploaded by INEC to the ISAV and everything. That of the president was not uploaded. Do you think, having regard that INEC procured over 350 billion naira to prosecute such an election, and having regard to the fact that this system has been tried in Anambra, it worked, tried in Ekiti, it worked, tried in Edo to give Obaseki second term, and then tried in Osun State? Thank you.
Yeah, you are right. Again, one of the questions submitted to the election petition tribunal, how come that the Beavers and IRF worked effortlessly, seamlessly in the same election, held at the same time during the same period, with the ballot papers for the 3 presidential, senatorial, and House of Rep given to one person to go and vote for whoever, how come the senatorial was uploaded seamlessly, the House of Rep was uploaded seamlessly, but not the presidential? Is it a case of saying those who bring a maggots infested piece of firewood into the house has unwittingly invited big ants, a colony of big ants, to come for a festival? These are the questions. To be or not to be? That is the question.
Okay, thank you, senior advocate. Let me quickly move on to Inis TV. Sir, Inis TV, pass your question, please. Sir, everybody should stay within their within 30 seconds or a max of 1 minute of your question, and we should also understand that he has right to skip any questions, especially as you all know that we're already in court, so he's limited to what he can answer. Go ahead, Inis TV, sir. What's your question?
Good evening, sir. I am in TV from UK. I just have a doubt. I was wondering, in case of for future references, is it legal for a political party to have its own independent coalition center and go ahead to announce his own result based on what his polling agents got from the polling unit? That's my question, sir.
Okay.
A very good question. Under the Electoral Act, as a matter of fact, it's actually a criminal offense for a party agent or other persons who are not the authorized persons of INEC to broadcast or announce results unofficially. What such party agents or individuals who have created a situation room to monitor the elections, what they can do is to be collating their results as they are coming in per second, and then hand over these results, which will therefore appear to be scientific, to their lawyers to work upon for the purpose of challenging the election. But such results will be of no moment because they are not official. Because under the Electoral Act and under the 1999 Constitution of Nigeria, only INEC is the official umpire of organizing and conducting elections, such as we saw. Okay. So to that extent, it has its own limitations.
Okay. Thank you, senior advocate. Meanwhile,
thank you, sir.
Inis TV is from the UK. CM passed this question earlier on, also from the UK. While Give Us Amade is from America. So let's move on now to Mr. Edwin. Mr. Edwin, sir, you have your 30 seconds now, passing your questions, and let us know where you're joining us from. Go ahead, sir.
Good evening, Mr. Ozekhome. We welcome you very much.
My brother.
Thank you very much for coming to us. My name is Edwin.
My pleasure, always.
And I'm talking to you from Germany.
So you are
the
German machine.
German machine. Go ahead, sir.
My question is this, sir.
The German machine.
Thank you, sir. My question is this: if in any form during the election petition tribunal sitting, and the selected president is
sworn in. And how are we sure when he's already in helm of affair, he's not going to tamper with the true justice, and then we don't tamper with the with the legal situation that is being run, that has to do with him and his office.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Edwin.
Yeah, the question is clear. My answer will be simple. It has to be now to be based on the integrity and individual consciences of the individual judges hearing this matter, whether individually or collectively as the panel. It was Uthman Dan Fodio who once told us that conscience is an open wound. Only the truth can heal it. The justices themselves are not impetuous, and they are not immune to the happenings in the polity and in the society. That is why elsewhere I had made some theories that Nigeria is not practicing democracy. Democracy as defined by Abraham Lincoln, a great American president, on the 19th of November, 1863, during the Gettysburg Declaration in Delaware, as government of the people, for the people, and by the people. I have said elsewhere, and you can check my 3 theories, that, just a second. Hello? Come along. You can come now. Okay, thank you. I beg your pardon. Please forgive me.
That's fine, sir. Go ahead.
I said, Nigeria does not practice that democracy, as you say by Abraham Lincoln, 19th November, 1863. I said, what are we practicing? We practice electionocracy and selectocracy. Selectocracy is a process where you do not actually elect, but you select, or people select for you, because your votes do not count. Electionocracy is a process whereby every 4-year interval of rituals, we go to the polling unit to elect or select our leaders. And when they come to power, either as president or governors or senators, they use the first 1 year going around to thank the populace and the constituents for voting or selecting him into office. Then they use the second year working allegedly, purportedly for the people, because some of the roads constructed are washed away with the first rainfall. Then by the 3rd year, they are already planning for the next elections without asking the vital question: has my first election given democracy dividends to the people? By the way, if dividends is a word borrowed from the corporate world, ask the question, have we even made profit? Because it is from profit you share dividends. By the 3rd year, election campaign has started gradually on the ground. Of course, towards the 4th year, it is full-blown. So it is electionocracy, a process by which Nigeria is simply about elections, not about governance. Then I said, there's another 3rd one called executocracy. Executocracy I define as a process by which the executive come into power, behaving like military tyrants, like Louis XIV of France, who will stand in front of parliament imperiously and declare, "L'état c'est moi, I am the state." The executive will want to lord it over the other 2 arms of government, the legislature and the judiciary, all of which are created in sections 4, 5, and 6 of the Constitution, borrowed from the tripartite doctrine of separation of powers, a doctrine popularized by a great French philosopher, Baron de Montesquieu, in 1748. So I said, all that the executive does is to wield his power and browbeat others to do their bidding, not to govern. So contrary to Section 5 of the Constitution, they are not executing laws for the peace, order, and good government of the people, but many a time into their pockets. Then I defined the fourth one. I call it legislotocracy. Legislotocracy. Legislotocracy is a system by which the legislature, created under Section 4 of the Nigerian Constitution, legislates for everything except for the peace, order, and good government of Nigeria. And when you go to the Senate for a ministerial nominee or a nominee for a critical position that affects millions of Nigerians, 219 million Nigerians, by the latest United Nations projection as at 19th of March, 2023, they legislate into their pocket. They have the fattest pay packet in the whole world. And where they are to use their oversight functions, or in sections 88 and 89 of the Constitution, a budget that is made by the executive, they say, no, executive, your budget is too small. You are talking of 19 trillion. We are going to increase it to 21 trillion. We call it budget padding. So they have to pad up the budget. And when ministerial nominees come in, rather than scrutinize them, interrogate them, they say, oh, we know you. You are Michael Ozekhome. You are a respected Nigerian. Please take a bow and go. They take a bow. That's why the present Senate, I called it Mr. Take a Bow Senate, who cannot look up to the president. Anyanya, eyeball to eyeball, omoagyode to omoagyode, eyeball to eyeball. They cannot. So whatever Mr. President brings, they pass into law. So we are having bad laws, laws that cannot help us. Then I described the fifth concept as judocracy. I said judocracy is a system of government where the politicians say fight, kill, maim, commit arson, commit treason, steal ballot boxes, steal ballot papers, just win at all costs, and let them go to court. And when they go to court, which is the judiciary, a president or a governor is conceived, put under incubation period, under the Constitution, as I've shown you, Section 285(6) and 132, sub 7 and 8 of the Electoral Act, 180 days, and then 60 days. Then that governor or president is conceived, incubated, and delivered in the hallowed precincts of a court of law, no longer through the ballot box, which was created specifically for that purpose. So because of that, our electoral process has been greatly corrupted and compromised. And to me, it cannot be Uhuru. Whichever president we finally have, after the tribunals and the Supreme Court have had their say, one admonition, one adjuration, one piece of advice. If you want Nigeria to move forward, not to further be retrogressing, or at best suffering the fate of the Baba's chair of perpetual motion on its axis without progress. This is the Baba's chair. You can see what I'm doing. You turn about your own axis, but you are not actually progressing. Indeed, in Nigeria, we are retrogressing. Do me one favor. Do Nigerians one favor. Critically look at the present constitution, which is a lie. The constitution tells a lie about itself in its preamble. by saying, we the people of Nigeria do hereby make and give to ourselves the following constitution. It is not true. In 1999, the elections were held without even a constitution. It was the General Abdusalami Abubakar and the Admiral Akigbe regime that quickly coupled together some constitutional matters of the past, put Justice Nikki Toby, God bless the soul of that cerebral jurist, and then they made the constitution. The constitution is actually an addendum, an attachment, a schedule attached to decree number 24 of 1999. That cannot be our constitution. For you to have a constitution that Nigerians will buy into, a constitution that is autochthonous, that is indigenous, that is imbued with integrity and legitimacy, and that is homegrown, you must have a constitution that is subjected to a referendum of the people to buy in. It was done. I didn't see heavens fall.
Okay.
It was done in Eritrea. Heavens did not fall. In South Africa, heavens did not fall. In Iraq, heavens did not fall. In Iran, heavens did not fall. In America, young great America, the man who spoke from Texas, in 1787, when the great Federalists met in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, they were already independent confederates. They decided to meet there to give themselves a more perfect union. That was how they met between May and September 1787, and made the present Constitution of America, which is still less than 8,000 words, with about how many amendments? About, is it 14 to 16 amendments? It was that constitutional conference that they agreed on certain irreducible minimum of what they want to be as a country. That was where they formed presidentialism as a system of government, executive presidentialism. That was where they agreed upon federalism, so that they can cede some powers to the government at the center, fewer, so that more powers will be with the states. In Nigeria, even your bicycle, your motorcycle is licensed by the federal government. Your marriage, your relationship act, which is a law passed by the federal government, how you relate with your wife. I was in America a few months ago. The Jackson, the Jackson happiest airport in the world. It's controlled and governed by a county council, a local government council. I went to Miami, Florida. The Miami International Airport, all the airports are controlled by the federal government. So you cannot have a country like that where they also agreed on judicial review of executive and legislative action. It was that great conference, Elvis, that threw up the great federalists, people like Washington, after whom Washington, D.C. is named, people like Alexander Hamilton, John James, Thomas Jefferson. It was that conference that threw them up. So Americans believe in their constitution because they made it and subjected it to the constituent states in a plebiscite, and they all agreed. So when you feel you are being governed by a document that has outlived its usefulness, imposed by the military, and you do not want us to talk about our affairs, to renegotiate our union, which started in 1914, after Nigeria was given her name by a young lady called Miss Flora Louisa Shaw, in an article she wrote in the London Financial Times on the 8th of January, 1896 or 1897. You can have a union that is actually federal. We are still unitary. In America, you are aware Then you have the federal police, you have FBI, you have CIA, you have state police, you have county council police, local government police, even tertiary institutions, universities have their own police.
Even college
Nigeria,
police.
we have only one elephantine behemoth police force under sections 215 and 214 and 215 of the Constitution. So what happens? Under section 162 of the Constitution, the national revenue is domiciled in the federation account. All the 36 states send their commissioners for finance at the end of the month to go and take handouts from this national reserve, and then they carry the money to their governors, who use them, and also use the ones belonging to the local government council, and they wait for the next allocation. So no state now wants to generate its own revenue to take care of itself, as we had it under the 1960 Independence Constitution and the 1963 Republican Constitution. After the failure of the 1922 Clifford Constitution, the 1946 Arthur Richards Constitution, the 1951 McPherson Constitution, and the 1954 Little 2 Constitution. We can't grow like this, my brother. You can't grow by having a budget of 21 trillion, and over 80% of it is for recurrent expenditure. That's salaries, emoluments, pensions, ego massaging. And then only 20 to 25% is for capital expenditure, for building roads, for building airports, for building schools. Come on.
Okay. All right. Because of
like
time,
that.
let me pass in the
tax. We must think we are doing well. We are treating a serious ailment like leprosy with a mere drug meant for eczema, like Naaman the leper. We must dip ourselves into River Jordan 7 times and cleanse ourselves of our political leprosy, of our national malaise, so that we can go forward and meet the advanced world.
That's it. All right. Thank you very much. Wow. You normally take your time to respond to one particular question. I like that. I like that. Thank you very much. Achuk Sobibweze, it's your turn right now. Please tell us where you're joining us from and go straight to your question. Thank you.
Yeah, good evening, Mr. Professor Mike Ozekhome. It's wonderful to meet you today.
Ozekhome, yeah. O-Z-E, yeah. God bless you.
Yeah, it's wonderful to meet you, to be in your class, because I classify this as class, Thank you once again. Yeah, my question goes, because looking at what happened, by the way, I'm calling from UK, the election has come and gone, and, I'm wondering what is the role of the Nigerian police in all this, or the DSS or SS, whatever name they call themselves, because if something like this happened, that there's three election on at the same time, and 2 of them is uploaded and 1 is not uploaded. Where I'm living today, the MI5 would have swung into action, right, to find out what happened. So what is the help of Nigerian police given to the parties in that's the politicians, because this is a crime. They ought to investigate it. I'm wondering if they don't know their roles, or I don't know if you can give us insight on that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chuks.
They do know their roles, but the society is such that almost everyone is held captive by state captors. We call them state captors, the elites, who have captured the society and put the society in their pockets. Are you not aware some elite Nigerians have a squad of policemen guarding them? Some of them 10 to 15 policemen, one single person. While the rest society has no policemen to go around. It's the Nigerian factor. I'm sorry to say, an ignoble factor, where the rich, who have amassed wealth, some legally, I must confess, but many illegally, in a most profane and ugly and vulgar manner. So you find one big man in quote, having about 10 to 15 policemen guarding him. And when he's going out, he goes in a convoy. Whereas the highways are devoid of policemen. Was I not kidnapped on the 23rd of August 2013 on a major highway between Eho and Ekpoma in the hot afternoon? There were no security on it. Then the 4 policemen that were coming from a nearby police station at Eho, they were brutally gunned down and murdered in my presence, and their guns taken. I've not been able to get over that scary moment. Fear of death, fear of fear. So you are talking about a police force, therefore, which is why I have been clamoring for what you call state police. Diversify it. Don't control it from one center. You make governors chief security officers of their state. But the same constitution, sections 214 and 215, say before the governor can act, he has to take instructions from the Inspector General of Police, who is resident in Abuja, who may himself decide to take instruction from the Minister of Police Affairs, who may now himself decide to take instructions from the President and Commander-in-Chief. How do you act? In your UK, in America, in London, in Europe, I go there often. I know this place with all respect. When a crime is committed, as it's being committed, some policemen are coming from east, some from west, some from south. Before you know what is happening, in 10 minutes, the whole place will be swarming with police forces. You will even see some helicopters flying on the skies, and they will be walking with walkie-talkies, and they will block all exits so that the criminals or criminal suspects will not run away. We don't have it here. So when these policemen are there, and they themselves are guarding the big guns, and they're even helping them to satiate their egos, to do their biddings, to help them carry out malpractices, how do we go from there? These are some of the matters already subjected before the tribunals.
Thank you, sir.
And I cannot therefore decide upon them.
Okay, let me move on to the next person, Nena. Madam Nena, please tell us where you're joining us from and go with your question.
Okay, good evening, sir. I'm really, really highly honored to have you and to have this privilege to ask you this question. My name is Nena. I'm calling from New Jersey, United States of America. My question is... Calling
from where?
I'm calling from New Jersey, United States. Did you hear me, sir?
New Jersey. Okay.
New Jersey, yes. I'm calling from New Jersey.
Yeah, I can hear you, New Jersey, yeah.
Yes, sir.
I know New Jersey, Newark area, I know that, yeah.
Exactly, I live very close to Newark. Okay, so my question is in two parts, but they're going to be like just very brief. They're connected to each other. But my first question is this. What exactly is election fraud? And can we describe what happened in Nigeria during the election election period as election fraud? I don't know if you heard my questions. What exactly is election fraud? Election fraud, you know, from the legal point of view, what is election fraud? And can we describe what happened in Nigeria during the election period as election fraud?
Thank you. Thank you, madam.
Did you hear me, sir?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, I can hear you. Election fraud.
Okay.
There are many things that constitute election fraud. It is not just the carrying away of ballot papers, ballot boxes, mutilations, carrying away the beavers themselves, the little machines that were taken away in some places like little toys. Election fraud also occurs when you do not comply with the laws. Non-compliance with laid down laws and INEC guidelines and regulations and the manual for election officers produced by INEC itself. It's like saying, let us go and dance. I am going to be the person to play the music. You will dance according to my music. We all agree and we're happy that, okay, you have bought new drums, new technology. We can see new guitar, can see new drum, new tambourine, new trumpet. We are going to dance according to the music, the rhythm the rhyme you are going to give to us. And then you start playing. And then we start dancing, going along. And then somewhere, you stop the music suddenly. You stop the music suddenly. And then we begin to ask, what happened? Where's the music? Why is it not sounding again? That is also election fraud. There are so many. Double nomination, selection fraud, mutilation of ballot papers and ballot boxes, selection fraud, non-compliance with the law itself, the act, the constitution, is election fraud, using forged papers, is election fraud. So they are variegated, they are multifaceted.
Yes, and the second part of my question, sir. So the second part of the question is to what extent can we describe what happened in Nigeria as election fraud?
To what extent?
To what extent, from the legal point of view, can we describe what happened in Nigeria during the election period as election fraud? To what extent can we describe?
I've already described the election as fundamentally flawed.
Okay.
There's no question about that. The kind of things that happened during the last election, like I told you, I've not witnessed them in my life. It was that bad. It was grim. It was not only ominous. It was grim. I saw human life meaning nothing to some people just for election, because we want power. Human life became as cheap as killing a mosquito or a fly. Haba, what is it? What are we looking for? If governance is actually to govern the people and help them, why would you kill to attain governance? Why would you kill if you just want to go and serve the people? Why can't you say, well, I've done my best, go in a fair and free and transparent manner. If they accept me, fine. If they don't accept me, fine. I try again. Why do you have to kill? Why do you have to maim? Why do you have to injure? Why do you have to cheat? Because you want power. From the local government councillors to the House of Assembly, to the chairman of local government, to House of Representatives, to Senate, to the presidency, to the governors. It's a sad day for Nigeria. Or somehow, I don't know how. Okay. God has been a Nigerian, from what I've seen. God must be a Nigerian. His patience appears inexhaustible. He's so almighty. Okay. So transcendental. So omniscient. So omnibenevolent. That he can see us do all this and he still ignores us. Who is it that speaketh and it cometh to pass if God has not commanded it? Lamentations 3:37. I just want to say God bless Nigeria. God help Nigeria. Wow. The most beautiful country on earth. Dolly Parton's coat of many colors. Beautiful place. Some of the best brains of Homo sapiens ever created by God. Some of the most intelligent creatures walking on the face of Mother Earth. Where did we get it so wrong? Bad leadership alone? An administration of bad leadership plus poor followership? A civil society that does not hold the government accountable and responsible to the people? Your answer is as good as mine. Only to admonish you that Thomas Jefferson once told us, you know a government that is rule of law compliant when the people fears their government. then there's chaos and anarchy. What I will advise us, including all of you, my brothers and sisters who are not at home, I don't like that word too much, diaspora, who are not at home here. Because you are there, meanwhile you are contributing one of the largest quota in terms of individual. If we remove what you send to us in Nigeria here in a year, the entire Nigerian economy will collapse. God bless you. But just help us to continue to nurture the will of progress. Follow the words of Leonard Hand. The only price we have to pay for our liberty is eternal vigilance. All of us. It's not the work of only few people. Don't put it on Michael Ozekhome. No, put it on yourself. How much are you also doing?
Exactly.
To say no to bad governance?
Exactly.
How many of you sent money to their people at home to say we want to empower you to make sure you go to vote during the Naira scarcity era? Go and vote. We want to make sure that you vote and ensure that your vote is counted and it counts. If you did that, God bless you. If you didn't, don't blame yourself. You may not have known it or taken it serious. Next time around, do it. Because the chain is as strong as a link. If you cut the chain, that small rope, holding together the beads, they will scatter. So do your part. I do my part. Then collectively, we can see an El Dorado.
Thank you, sir. Before I let you go, I'm going to take straight 3 questions at the same time. I would like you to answer them in a short period. Okay, let me go on now to the next person here is Bob Victor. Please go straight to your question, and I'll go to Igbe, then to God's Power. 3 of you, start with you, Bob Victor, please. What's your question?
More grace to my son, Professor Ozekhome, the Okaigbe of SAN in Nigeria. And I want to throw this question. I'm calling from the Lone Star State, Texas, Dallas to be precise.
Okay, go ahead.
I want you to really expatiate on this matter that is happening in the Nigeria now that is happening concerning a candidate who spoke consistently on the Constitution. And there is a reply that came from a professor, the body of professor, one of the professors. I won't like to mention the name, which I guess you know who spoke. It contradicts that word concerning the vice president of Labour Party that he was quoting out of point and is making the atmosphere so volatile.
Okay.
I want you to throw more light on it.
I already understand your question. Let me move on to the next person. Mr. Igbe, what is your question, please? Good evening to you. Unmute yourself quickly.
Good evening, Naija. Good evening, the senior advocate of Nigeria. Good evening, sir. God bless you. God bless your efforts. I'm calling from the city of Rome. My name is Igbe, Italy. I totally agree with you, sir, for all your analysis concerning the Nigeria Constitution.
Help me greet Pope Pius for me.
I will do that, sir. Pope Francis.
Okay, go ahead.
So I agree with you, sir. All the analysis of the Constitution that is frauded.
Pope Francis.
Yes, sir. I agree with you, sir. According to the Constitution, and I know that it's the thing that is taking us backward, according as a nation. But my question is this: as an advocate who have been in the field for decades of years now, we have seen in Nigeria that a court will sack a governor from a seat, and the governor will still remain in the seat, presiding, in the sense that he will still remain in the seat, going to appeal. So, sir, in this case of the presidential tribunal, the presidential tribunal case, I don't know if it's possible for you to tell us if perhaps the court rule and sack the president-elect. Do you think that the president will leave office before going to
thank you
to appeal, or is any, I don't know.
That's fine. You've passed your question, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay.
Thank you.
Please go ahead with your question.
No, the president. Let me tell you.
Hold on.
The Constitution has created a time limit for a president or a governor, and it is 4 years setting from the date it takes office. So from May 29, 2019 to May 29, 2023, President Muhammadu Buhari must leave office. That means he must hand over to
no, sir. I'm asking of the for example
that was where some people were canvassing.
The president-elect, sir, the president of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. If, for example, the court rule and sack him, and sack him from office, did immunity cover him to sit in the seat to go to reappeal, or is supposed to vacate office before reappeal?
Okay.
No. Okay, if that's what you mean, even when you are sacked from office, you stay in the office because nature abhors vacuum while you pursue your appeal. You must know that, for example, Governor Adeleke of Osun State was sacked as governor of Osun State, but he remained in office even after the tribunal judgment while he was pursuing his court of appeal matter that was finally decided about 2 weeks ago, this time to come to his favor. I think the Oyetola...
Is that constitutionally, sir? Is that constitutionally, sir?
No, Mr. Agbe,
yeah,
you
that
cannot
is the Constitution.
This.
That's the Constitution.
Agbe, please.
Yeah, that's Constitution. Yeah, that is the Constitution. You remain in office until the last court of the land, which is the Supreme Court, finally removes you. When it removes you, then you are gone. But until then, whilst you are pursuing your appeal, you remain either governor or president, so that there will be no vacuum.
Thank you, sir. The first question today from the previous person, Victor, I guess, he was asking, because of the statement from Dati Ahmed and the response from the Wole Soyinka, Professor Wole Soyinka. So what can you say about the comment from Dati Ahmed and the response from Professor Wole Soyinka?
Yeah, I wouldn't want to comment on that.
That's fine. That's fine, sir.
If you watch me, I hardly discuss personalities, except where it is practically impossible to discuss the issues without mentioning the person.
That is fine, sir.
Permit me
Let us move on.
Not to comment on the war of words between Ahmed Dati on television and what Wole Soyinka said. Both of them are great, respected Nigerians. They are entitled to their opinions, just as I have been expressing my opinion tonight. Not everybody agrees with me. But the beauty about life is that you can allow me have my say, but you can always have your way. You can always disagree. So we can agree to disagree and disagree to agree. Otherwise, we engage ourselves in monologue or soliloquy. That is why you have been asking questions. That is why we have been having this interactive session. Because it would have been bad if I simply came here and talked to you people as if I was delivering a lecture. But what we have been doing is an interactive session. You also showing me your areas of worries and what you think in some areas. And I want to tell you, Elvis, I've also learned 2 or 3 things already tonight as a researcher. From angles I never saw some issues from. Some of your talk tonight have activated my thinking cap to say, when we finish, I'm going to look at those areas again. That is why it is good to interact. Exactly. It's an ongoing conversation, discussing. Yeah. UK is still discussing. European
we have only
countries are still discussing. Canada is still discussing. Even Rome, the only country within a country, the papacy, is still discussing.
Of course, of course. Okay, let's move on, sir. We have only 2 persons left. Naija, please go ahead with your question. Good evening to you. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, no,
Thank you.
I have to go, Mr. Elvis, because they are nudging me that I have to go for the other. They are waiting for me.
Okay. Can you take this last one?
Can we just round it up?
Okay, we are rounding
I will always come back. It's an ongoing conversation.
Okay. All right. Let me take this last one as the roundup. The roundup to Naija, please go straight to the point.
Yeah, thank you for coming in, Professor. I don't know that you're a professor, but with all due respect, I support a lot of the things you've said, especially about the military regime and that stuff. But just to make it brief, I've seen you on TV and I've seen you wearing some of those headgears that people in law wear. Have you ever proposed that we get rid of those colonial headgear that we normally wear?
Thank you very much. I will not propose that. In fact, one of the reasons I read law, apart from trying to use it as an instrument to fight oppression, was the beauty of the regalia of the lawyer. For as long as we will not discard the suit, many of you there wear suit with a tie. Some of you here, right here, as I'm saying, are wearing suits. Some with ties, some without ties. They are not Nigerian dresses. So the hood does not make the monk. Even in America, you see the judges wear their gowns. They may not put on the wig. In the UK, many of them put on their wig also. So it is not that wig or the gown that makes the monk. We may see it as a colonial mentality, but a culture that we have since internalized. Just as the police wear their uniform, which were also colonial concepts. The nurse clothes, the clothes worn by nurses that you see, are colonial concepts. I've never seen a nurse in Nigeria putting on utebe and a woman's native dress or tie wrapper. The soldier you see, the trousers, the dressing, the mode of dressing, the pilots, all these are colonial heritages, which we cannot.
We choose our uniform, but that is specifically passed down.
Sorry?
We choose our own uniform. Nurses, they wear different colors and all the rest, but we are wearing something that was passed down from colonial era.
Yeah. But the way they sew the dresses, I'm yet to see a nurse sew a dress like using it as a wrapper to tie a wrapper and then tying the head tie. That's our dressing.
To be fair, that is very different from a fake thing that is not needed.
I wouldn't think that the gown or the wig really matters much. But when the time comes and we feel that we no longer need it, then surely we do away with it. Our reverend fathers, our priests, the imams, all of them dress in this same colonial clothes that we were given. Until we start wearing agbada to court, start wearing beads and taking a horse tail to the court during court sessions, or a soldier going to war carrying a rifle in one hand and they're wearing babaringa in the others, then we'll say that we cannot do away with all of them. God bless you.
Okay, sir. My own question before you go, my personal question now is that is any part in the Nigeria Constitution that is against ex-convicts in holding or any authority office or as a president or any authority office?
Yes, it's one of the disqualifying conditions under the Constitution. Okay. For example, you belong to secret court, or you are an ex-convict, or you have been involved in financial crimes, or matters of breach of trust. There are some of the disqualifying matters within our Constitution. They are there. Or, for example, if you contest an election and it is found that you are not a Nigerian, you are an alien, you're not a Nigerian, but somehow you found your way and you contested, or that you are underage, or that you are a minor, or that you are a lunatic who can run berserk. All these are disqualifying conditions. There are many.
Okay, although I'm aware it's there, but I wanted to officially confirm this from you. I want to appreciate you, sir. And although there's a lot of questions, we don't have time for that anymore. People in the comment section and all that.
I will come next time.
Yes, next time we'll bring you back again. Thank you very much, sir. I really do appreciate you coming today to take our questions. Please continue to stand for the people, not the satanic politicians.
It's too late. It's too late now, Elvis, for me to back out. I cannot begin to learn how to be left-handed in my age. It's too late. The struggle has been my life. I'll be there. My first detention was actually in about April 22, 1986, under the Babangida military regime. I do not think at my age, it is now I will give up. It's my promise to God for the rest days of my life. I will continue to fight for the people.
Thank you, sir.
And enthrone justice, rule of law, fundamental human rights of Nigerians, and good governance and democracy. I've made up my mind to do that. By the grace of God, I will not be deterred. I will continue to interrogate powers, speak truth to authority. I will continue to ask the questions and even question the answers. I will continue to fight on behalf of the people, leaving no stone unturned and no turn unstoned. It's too late in the day to back down. That I want to assure you.
Thank you very much.
God bless you, Nigerians.
Once again,
continue to be good citizens, good ambassadors where you are. Many of you are doing us proud. We are very proud of you people. We are very proud of you people. God bless you all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thanks for coming around. Thank you, sir. Have a good night.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir, Professor.
Good night. Regard to the family, sir.
Bye, sir.
Akpaka Vigi Vigi. Good night, sir.
All right. Wow.
Why are you people just brown nosing, man? This is the problem with our country. The guy wouldn't even get rid of colonial headdress, for crying out loud.
Shut up your mouth. You have to just quiet.
You have to call your question.
That question I don't understand. Which angle are you looking at?
And you wonder why we have problems.
You have to call your question. Because I was trying to ask a question.
Get to the bottom.
You don't forget it. You are asking the question that why are you bringing such a question? What does that really concern?
If you want to hear the answer, if you want to hear the answer, you wait for the answer. The reason why I ask the question, you need to understand how people think.
For now,
everybody, the people we are talking about, they still believe on the colonial master. They are still stealing your resources and taking it to the colonial master's country.
Everybody, please, everybody, hold on. I have to mute everybody, please. CM, please handle the screen for now. I will join you guys in the next 5 minutes. CM, is that okay?
Okay, let me dictate the order of things. I won't be speaking. Give us our mandate after that, based on the screen. Give us our mandate. Then Nobi to Naija, METV, Aigbe 2023.
No,
Victor.
you are going the wrong way. You are going the wrong way. You are going the wrong way.
It's not wrong. Listen, it's not wrong way. I'm starting from my left to the right, so that is the way it appears on my screen.
It the way he's comfortable with that, please.
No mind them. Go to court if you go to court. So
I will go to court now, no problem.
Now, two Naija supposed to go to court. May go ask questions where we're concerning that week.
Is it two Naija? You just wasted my space. I left a space for you, and you came here and wasted it. You didn't even ask a question that is related to discussion.
Please, one moment. If you can, in this case, I believe all of us are matured. So let me read out the order again. Give us a mandate. No, then no be number 2, Naija 3, any TV 4, Aigbe 5, Victor 6, Chooks, Obiboeze 7, and then 8, God's power, in that order, just the way it appears. So, what do you make out of? What can you say about what Ozekhome said? How has he helped the situation in Nigeria? Give us a mandate. Are you
thank
there?
You very much, Mr. CM.
The guy from Texas.
Yeah, thank you for taking on the moderation now. Thank you so much.
Let me just say five. I think let us agree on 5 minutes with that.
Okay.
So that okay, 5 minutes. So 5 after 11 now. Okay, carry on.
I mean, what more can we say? This is very, very excellent and interesting conversation. So, Dr. and Professor Mike Ozekhome, lawyer and son, coming here to speak, just shows the level of dignity and then humility and the passion that he has for the people. That tells that all of these people, they know the truth. They also have, they were in Nigeria when this whole thing happened, and they know the truth. They know the difference between the technicality of the case and when you have amounts of evidence to prove that this is just not right. He has a lot of words, a lot of things to say, but because it's an open platform, there are things that he will not want to mention or dive into. And I mean, Nigerians watching us tonight themselves, if they've lost hope, I think people should begin to pick back up their hope, because we have hope that the right thing will be done. And all of the hula baloo and all of the cries that APC and the wicked leaders are doing against the common man, even against the one that was elected, all of these things needs to stop. Mike Ozekhome says something which is very profound. And I think when I was making my comment in the first time I mentioned of that, if government is truly helping the people, why do you have to kill the people because you want to rule them? If government is truly helping the people, and I know that Tinubu, Remi, Gbajabiamila, Dele Alake, MC Oluomo, Sanwo-Olu, Festus Otokokeyamo, For Food Fani Kayode, Ganduje, Shetima, Buhari, all of you are listening. This is what I took away from the statement, from the whole thing tonight. If government is truly helping the people, why do you people? Because you want to rule them. Literally, from what we heard, 88 people were killed during this past election. And I said that earlier. This is just simple transfer of power, electing the people that should rule us. And we have to go through this situation. Some even killed themselves. A 19-year-old boy killed himself in Jos because he felt that his hope is lost. Mahmoud Yakub, hopefully you are listening tonight. You see where you've put the country because of your selfish interest. And so Nigerians, there is hope. Let's not lose hope. If anyone should lose hope right now, it is Peter Obi. But he's not relenting. He keeps pushing. So regardless of where you are, please keep hope alive. Keep hope alive. Americans will not kill his own citizens because they want to rule them. The UK government will not kill their own citizens. Why Nigeria? Because you want power? Because you want to rule the people? You have to divide them to rule them? That is not how life operates. And you can see humility in the voice and in the charisma, in the demeanor of Mike Ozekhome tonight. How we align his word. There are things that he would have said if we were together in a room, but he won't be able to see them on here.
A minute more.
So, my people, all I'm asking for us is let's keep hope alive.
Okay.
Let's keep pushing. Thank you.
Thank you. No, B, it's over to you. 11:10. Hello. Okay, it's like she's not available. No, B, she's not available. Then two Naija, you take over at 10 past 11.
Thank you, CM. Yeah, see the reason why I asked that question, people don't understand, because I heard him ask a question: why are we like this? Why are we having problem? And I was just notified that this man has been struggling for the oppressed in Nigeria since the 70s, and you wondered why we are still like that. Is he a success or a total failure? What we have now is a total failure, and you wonder why. He's asking the question why. Because somebody doesn't want to cut the apron strings of the colonizers that enslaved his own forefathers. He literally went on to argue for keeping it. Made a lot of examples to preserve something that even other nations have gotten rid of a long time ago. This is why our nation is not moving forward. They will ask themselves, I put earlier on in the comment, which is something I've seen, that 90% of Nigerians are technically traitors by foreign standard. 70% out of that 90 don't even know it at all. The rest actually consciously do it. People like him may not even know he is one of them, that are undermining the nation repeatedly because they sell out their mentality to foreigners. They don't think that, okay, let me put my nation first all the time. You have all the things that he is proud of, all the things he praises. You notice how he praising foreign capitals and all the rest, because we are the bottom, the backwater. We are they are in heaven and we are on earth, and they travel overseas. You wonder why our leaders travel overseas. This is an example. Why? This is why they go to overseas to rest. They die in foreign hospital. That's why you have to ask some of these basic questions, because what's the use of saying, why don't you notice that our nation is underdefended? One of the most underdefended in the world. Why are we not like other nations, like Singapore, like China, like even Hong Kong? Name it, South Korea, name it. Even North African countries, all the North African countries are different from us. Because of this mentality. Because they don't see us as a free people. They don't see us like that. They see us as hooked to foreign powers. They don't even see us as a sovereign nation. And this is the problem. They might profess it with their own mouth, but in reality, they are not behaving like that. And that kind of mentality is why they fail repeatedly, because they refuse to do the hard work. He went on, I just said, he could have said, oh, maybe it's something we can look into later on, Why are you spending time arguing about keeping a white man's this thing on your head?
But can I ask question? Can I ask Mr.
No, hold on. Let him finish. Please let him finish so that we allocate time to that.
I agree with him when he said that military regime is a bad idea, because I was in Nigeria then. He was jailed several times, and I saw all the stuff that was going on. I was praising all these leaders. They are fighting for us. They are fighting for us. But how long will somebody fight for you before you know that maybe they are pretending for us? They are not actually winning. They are failing woefully. The needle is not moving. No power supply. Our life expectancy is about 53 years. There are countries that have been at war for 20 years. They have a higher life expectancy. What is wrong with our leaders? This is it. They fight for you, but they go to Western capitals all the time. They go and chill out. All of them. He does it. I can guarantee you he does it. So this is the problem with all of them. Wole Soyinka, the other day came back, he didn't even know. He said he didn't even read Nigerian newspaper for months. That is when he came to Nigeria, he checked it. When Nigeria was going, he knows Nigeria is going to election, but it was in foreign territory. IBB, foreign territory. This in the president so-called select, foreign territory. All of them.
A minute more.
How are we going to become free and actually govern for ourselves? It's not because we are not generating money. All our money is in Western capitals. And all our best mind, including myself, we have transported ourselves to Western capitals. What is the difference between now and during slavery? Tell me. The only difference is that before they used to buy us and force us. Now they put pressure at home and we flood foreign countries. What is the difference? The dynamics is exactly the same. He wouldn't even change the headdress.
Okay, your time is up now. So who
Thank
had a
you.
question?
I
Thank
hope
you.
people understand where I'm coming from.
Yeah, who wanted to ask a
Yeah,
question?
it's me that wanted to
Okay.
ask a question. Okay, I don't know. I'm kind of, I don't know, maybe other people understood what Naija is saying, but I'm kind of confused because we brought in Mike Ozekhome for us to ask Ozekhome, I'm so sorry. For us to ask some questions. I'm trying to avoid using some words so that I don't, that's not as if I'm being impolite to somebody. To ask questions that are pertinent to what we are currently going on at this moment that has to do with the just concluded election and the way forward from here. So I'm kind of confused what the wig of lawyers have to do with it. That is, I'm kind of confused. I don't know, maybe other people understood it, but I personally don't. Because I understand that, you know, like we can say, okay, situation of Nigeria have forced most of us to go out. We all know that. That is agitation. That is what we all are agitating.
Madam, go straight to your question, please, so that persons are waiting, please.
Well,
if you want to take over, take over. The last thing I want to do is to argue with anybody here. Mr. Igbe, if you want to take over, you can take over.
You said you want to ask, just go straight to your question so that we can see.
I wasn't asking the question to you. Can you please?
Please hold on. Please just hold on.
Thank
you. I hope Naija is listening.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you, CM, for your time.
I want a very good job.
Pardon?
I say CM did a very good job.
He's always doing that.
Precisely.
He's always doing a very good job here.
Because he allows you to talk. That's why he's doing a very good job.
He didn't give me extra time. What are you talking about?
But what I want to say is that we shouldn't worry. Don't worry. We're going to pass the time round continuously. We are not going to end the show. Normally, we're supposed to end it in the next 20-30 minutes, but don't worry, everybody's going to have a time until we get tired. You know, if possible, to tomorrow morning we are here. Don't worry. So let's take it one by one. CM, back to you, but I'm here now.
Okay.
But back to you.
So your question was because you wanted to ask a question to Naija, probably why he raised this.
The question I wanted to ask was the relevance of that question based on what we're discussing at the moment, that is this moment momentarily. Everybody in Nigeria, every sensible person in Nigeria understands the problem of Nigeria. We know there's a lot of things in our country at this point in time. But my point is that with regards to this particular forum at this moment in time, with regards to Mr. Professor Ozekhome coming to this show, of what relevance is that question? That's just my question.
Okay. To Naija, can you address the question? Say in a minute anyway, so that we can go over.
Yes, I'll make it very brief. I see, because I believe that there are things that are more important than the basic. That's what we are currently doing. And besides, I believe that he's actually addressed some of my questions regarding military and all the rest of it. But I wanted to go on issues so that I can understand how he thinks. Because this is a bigger. Because if he lives here now, if everybody asks him the same question, he's going to go and think about kids. But now he's going to be forced to think about, okay, what's going on with this head resting? I just spent publicly arguing for this stuff. Because sometimes our problem is deeper. It's within ourselves. And I believe that's why whenever I talk, I say it's for the people. I want to come here and ask deep questions about the way we approach life. Because look at all of us. We've transported ourselves to the West by ourselves. While other people are building their countries, we are abandoning our countries.
Can I interject, please?
No. Excuse me. No, it's
Can
okay.
I interject, please?
No, excuse me, so that we don't lose our trend where we are going.
We are not losing our trend. It's a point of correction. We should correct something.
Hold on. You see, it's somebody's opinion. When you are correcting, unless he said if today is Monday and Naija say it's Tuesday, you can correct that. That is a fact. But this is his opinion. Probably you integrate it when you want to say your own. It's not a question to him. Now, no, it should have been your turn because you were away. So we jumped you to Naija. Can we continue, or do you feel you have to stay?
Just hold on before you go back to her, CM, please. I have Engineer Ken on the phone. I would have liked him to be on air, but it's on the phone. Engineer Ken, good evening to you, sir. Please talk to us.
Good, Mr. Naija Watch. I've been trying to call in, all day, but
yes,
the line has been so engaged.
Thank you.
How are you?
Yes, we are good. We are good.
Yeah,
Thank
good
you,
evening,
sir.
everyone. Yeah. But before I go further, I want to say hi to Mrs. Obi.
Hey, my brother, I hear your voice. God bless you.
Okay. Miss Obi, you remember me, right?
I know now.
Okay, go ahead, sir. Go ahead. This is a public forum. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead with the question, please.
Engineer Ken is always like this.
Mr. Naija Watch, I've been online almost for the past 3 hours. I heard what everyone has been talking about and has been saying. I somewhat believe on what the vice president says. On the question of when he says that if they should swear in Bola Ahmed Tinubu, democracy would be in danger. Of which it is true in every sense. In every sense it is true because the man makes a very vital point. So to me, I'm so ashamed to see these old cargoes, Nigerian politicians, the way they are fooling themselves, disgracing Nigeria in the presence of the whole world. It's so ashamed. And we have a president who called President Muhammadu Buhari that is in charge, is allowing this kind of a thing to happen, in this 21st century. I believe that Obi mandate is going to be given back to him, in all costs, because that election was so open to the whole world to see. Even the blind can testify of that election. So saying this alone, hearing this, seeing it with my two naked eyes, watching every social media platform, I'm so ashamed to even identify myself as a Nigerian. Because I've never seen anywhere in the world that a thing like this has been done in just a daytime robbery. A daytime robbery, a man will stand in Times Square of America, pick up a gun and rob everybody and says, I did it with my face open. And at the end, the mayor of the mayor of New York will now come out and give him a handshake and clap for him. You did well. That is what we just witnessed in Nigeria as a country. So I believe what you guys have been saying all day, and I believe that God is going to hear our cry. God is going to hear a lot of the prayers of the Nigerians. Fight for a good governance about this election. Another thing that I want to say is that this thing is bigger. What we are saying is bigger than Tinubu coming in as a president.
What was your take?
Their deal is this. They want to Islamize Nigeria. They want to change Nigeria to become a Muslim country. I strongly believe that is their mission.
Engineer Ken,
yes.
What was your take about Michael Ozekome's answers? Or you didn't want to watch him?
Fantastic. Yes, of course. I watched in. I was there all through. I was there even though I took my family out for shopping, but I was on my phone all through. I was watching it. It will cause a fight between me and my wife, but it's okay. She loves me. She know that she know that this is Friday. Friday, I'm injected with the Naija Watch on Friday. I mean, in the stage, on the backstage, I'm dead. She knows that very well. Michael Ozekhome spoke very well. That's a true and good son that he knows that we are not afraid. We will say the way that it has to be said. Michael Ozekhome speak well as a man, he speak well as a father, and he also speaks very well as a barrister. He defended why he has been called into the Nigerian Bar Association, and he acted very well. Everything that he said, they were all on point. They were all on point. So to me, I don't see like 60 lawyers or 100 lawyers in standing for this thing. But it's so obvious. Yes, it's so obvious.
Thank you.
And another thing that I have to say is this.
It's okay.
You know, I want the Igbos should stand up and start developing their states.
Okay,
Forget about Lagos State.
let's move on
okay.
because of time, sir. Try to join the screen if you can. Okay, sir, please.
Thank you.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
Okay, so if
all right,
if you
CM, back to you.
If you want, it's in normal storm. If she's not there, then any TV can go. Hello, no, be not in normal. Sorry, no, be.
Yeah.
So what do you make of?
Yes, I was going to come to that. So,
five minutes starts now.
Okay, it's always refreshing to hear and to see that there are still some men of integrity, people who are ready to stand for the truth, people who are ready to stand for the who are ready to talk from good conscience in Nigeria. It's very refreshing to see that. And Michael Ozekhome happens to be one of those people that I respect a lot. Just like he said, it's too late for him to go back, but it's unfortunate there are still some people, even at his age, people who you see that, you know, even while getting old, instead of them to begin to make amends from the mistakes of the past, like it's okay, you know, the things they've done in the past to make amends, you see them still fumbling and still, you know, acting as if they still have like 20, 30 years ahead of them to live, or even 50 years ahead of them to live. It's very refreshing. The man, he shed a lot of light to very interesting topics and interesting things. And he, you know, educated a lot of us. I want to believe that a lot of people that are listening to him must have gotten something, a lot of things that we do not know, or maybe things we do not have much clarity about concerning the whole thing, the situation of the whole of the thing. There was one question I would have wanted to even ask, but I don't know. I think somehow he touched it, but I would have loved him to elaborate on it a little bit. But then, having said all we said, the only thing we still have to say, just like he said, the law is taking its course. These are people who respect the Constitution. They're still going by the constitutional stipulations of the country. We still have to do what we have to do. You know, I love every of his submission, and he made it very clear. This is where the law stands, and this is what we have to do. And there is nothing we can do at this point, if not to continue to pursue things the way they ought to go, and then keep faith and hope alive that things are going to change. Everybody is agitating for one thing or the other. Majority of us, we know what the problem of Nigeria is. We know what the situation of our country is. But the only thing we have to do is, at this point in time, when we listen to the voice of reasoning, like the one we just heard from this man, from Michael Ozekhome, we hold on to it, and then we continue to pursue what we are pursuing. With his final words, he said, let's keep doing what we need to do for the voice of the masses. The truth about it is that what we say, the voices that we air here goes as far as we cannot even imagine it. So the world is hearing, the Nigerians are hearing, and a lot of people are getting. I mean, this is what we need in order to keep the momentum moving. I like his submissions, and we trust that the likes of him, you know, will go there on that day in that judiciary and make a difference and show the world that Nigerians still have people who have a little bit of an integrity, you know. So, I mean, that's just all I have to say. We just keep it at that.
Can I ask you a quick question, since you asked me one?
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, what was the most important thing that you can pick out from what he said today?
The most important thing I can pick out?
Yes, from what he said today.
I have a lot of things I picked out, but one of the things that I picked out from what he said is that irrespective of what we think, irrespective of what we think, the law of the land has to take place. But the point is this: they're still going to make their case. Okay, maybe I will take an example from the question that I asked him about election fraud and how he can describe what happened in Nigeria. He goes to a very great extent to explain to us, you know, making it very clear to whoever that is in doubt that what happened in Nigeria during this election is, it's an election fraud, because everything that election fraud represents, everything that election fraud stipulates We saw everything take place. We saw the beating, we saw the intimidation, we saw the stealing of ballot boxes, we saw everything take place. So at least that is very clear for people who are still in doubt. For people who ask you, what is the essence of the obedience? People saying that the election was fraudulent. At least he was able to explain it, that everything that happened during that election amounts to election fraud. And for that, you know that, I mean, the election, one can say that it is flawed and it is not something that was supposed to stand. But unfortunately, we have a society where things are not working. And this is one of the things that he said. Things are not working. It is very obvious. Even a little child says it. Things are not working. And that is why we see things play out where they played. And for the first time in history, that a presidential winner, so to say, was declared while people were still sleeping. So all these things shows you that there is something fundamentally wrong with the society that is called Nigeria. I hope I answered your question.
Thank you. Well, it's not a.
Thank you. I think she answered it.
Okay, well, in this type of answer, we don't score marks. So you see, there's nothing like pass or fail. So it's just that you just have to answer it. Any 2 TV, the TV chat, your 5 minutes starts now, 11:31.
Good evening again. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Good evening. It was a very good interactive section, but there was.
Let's make it 3 minutes. Information just came to me now that I have to end this broadcast before that 6 p.m. The video we played earlier on, there's a copyright on it. This is why we don't play it. YouTube just alerted me now. That short video we played when the guy was speaking Yoruba to Tinubu, there's a copyright on it, and unfortunately we cannot let this go far, but I'm going to create another broadcast in the next 15-20 minutes. Go ahead.
I'll just talk for two minutes, then I'm gone.
Okay, thank you.
I just wanted to talk on the 1999 Constitution. Everybody says the Constitution is bad, the Constitution is this, but I think if we are all truthful to ourselves, the implementation, the Constitution might not be perfect, but the implementation or the way we use the Constitution is also part of the reason why I think things are really bad. Why? Because most of the states now are suppressing the local government. The Constitution does not say that. The governors have given themselves a kind of auto power that they are beginning to even question the federal. So I think apart from the Constitution being bad, there are 2 things that I notice. Most of us are, first of all, from the region we have first before thinking about being national. So because of that that is why we are beginning to have a lot of issue with the Constitution. That is all I have to say. Thank you. I appreciate.
Thank you. The next person is Aibe 2023. Any mute yourself, please. Thank you. If you can.
Thank you, Mr. CM. Thank you very much for the opportunity given to me once again. You see, I will just go straight to the point that all that Ozekhome have just said this evening, they are all perfect, You see, sometimes I will not to blame people too much because everybody have a title to his own opinion. And secondly, everybody have his own, way of thinking and his own perspective way of looking things. I don't really think, you see, celebrating the birth of Jesus Christ is something that all Christians come together to put it on the 25th of December, and which the day was not that day. So if everybody come together to be doing one things, for example, I believe that the majority that win the vote. So Ozekhome, first and foremost, when he starts talking, he starts from the question of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Listen, every developed country or developed nation, it is the power of the constitution that makes it countries to develop. For example, if a constitution is made to favor the citizens, you will see the citizens, things will be going well. You see, this man, this senior son, I mean, Ozekhome and Femi Falana, these are the two Nigerian advocates, I'm starting to be corrected, that I have seen in Nigeria that's always talking about the Constitution of Nigeria. That the Constitution is fraud. The Constitution is both the one that they amended, both one the military, you know, the one of 1960 and the one of 1999, all of them are in the favor of the politicians, the favor of the military, and the 1999 ones in the favor of the politicians. Imagine a constitution that said that when a politician steals money and when he's facing court, I mean when he's in the front of when his case has been taken to court, if he has a health problem, he will first and foremost go and cure this problem first. I mean, the health challenge before they will look over that issue. And that makes people like Dino Milaisi on the feet today. That makes people like Jury Pondi are still going scot-free. Many of our Nigerian politicians are still going scot-free today because of the foreign constitution. So this man has explained 100%. When the first question they ask him, he goes straight to the constitution, the problem that is holding Nigeria back. And some people are coming to ask him about the question of wig. What does wig concern the brain or the person that's sitting down that want to give judgment to cases? Is the will cover the brain of the judge, or the wig cover the brain of the right thinking of the lawyer, or what the lawyer have studied?
All right.
So the issue, the man have dealt with it, and which is our constitution. And I hope and I believe that one day we can have a president who will look under the constitution and amend it to disallow the federal power and give it to the local government, because every development countries today, all are from the powers are from the local government, because everybody start from the local government. Thank you. As I hear the floor back to you. Thank you. God bless you this evening.
Thank you very much. All right. Let us just work with this time, if possible. Let me see. CM, who has
the Victor? Victor just finished talking now. There are two Victor. Okay, there's BV Victor. There's another Victor here. Which one? Who came first? I think it's BV Victor that came first.
Victor. That was why I was telling you that you were going the wrong way.
There's nothing like wrong way. Let's just.
I didn't go.
Just keep.
It's an Naija watch
now.
It's an Naija watch.
Who is talking now?
It's Big Victor that is talking.
Okay, go ahead, sir. You have 3 minutes.
And Naija watch. I think everybody have right. We should talk about right now.
No, there's nothing like wrong way when I give part.
I'm trying to correct him. The way you were going before was different.
No, but I say, listen, you are stressing this thing. I give a platform. I take him. Just follow.
Okay, let that one be bygone. Let that be bygone. Let that be bygone.
Ahead, you have 3 minutes.
Mr. Ozekhome spoke very, very well, and he spoke in line with what we have in the Constitution, because he's a constitutional lawyer and he's a master and a professor in it. And I believe we should always confine ourselves to the kind of environment we are, and we should not come to a place where we know that this is what we are confined, we are directed to follow this process, and we come in as a superstar and ask something that is not even in the whole thing of, it's not even the subject of matter. I don't know if you people noticed it. It's always occurring here. If we are speaking on a subject, this is a constitutional lawyer, for Christ's sake. We need to dig into the constitutional deficiency of what we are seeing that is happening in Nigeria. We don't need to bring up something that is the fundamental right of the lawyers. So I don't care about that one. We should speak on Nigeria. If we got to go on the fundamental is the Constitution. What holds the country What hold the country down is the constitution. I expected to Nigeria to act on the constitution, but not to bring a matter of wig. That is another matter for another day. We should not bring that into this. That is diversionary. We should not bring it into it. We should speak according to the ethics of what we are here for. I love when people are being led by the ethics. Not when you come here trying to be. If I have to be a superstar here, I know how to do it. I know how to con it. But you don't come here. It provoked me.
They call you. I don't know if you
are professor or whatever. This man was kidnapped. This man was kidnapped. He started a movement in Nigeria, which we guided us and we followed him while we were in Nigeria. And he was kidnapped. He was arrested, being in jail, and you come up to ask him such a question. You should respect this man as a person. He has gone through a lot. Look at all the leaders we have. Look at how they are derailing. This man is 65 years or thereabout, and he's still holding his ground on what's happening here. He's a constitutional professor. You should respect that. He has not deviated. We shouldn't ask him about wig or what. Those are childish things. It's childish to me. It's childish. And it provoked me as a person.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
It's okay. For me, I was not happy with that question because it was total diversion. Doesn't make any sense to me at all.
It wouldn't at this moment. The reason why I asked it was because of what I've heard him say. He kept, he asked the question.
There's no need.
Why are we like this?
Explain. It's okay. We don't have the time. You don't have the time. Next time.
And you said, why did I say that? Whatever. Yes, I don't know how to address him because everybody likes to go on Your Excellency, your this, your that, your that.
He's a professor.
I don't know him. I don't know him. I don't know. You see, that's the problem. I was struggling to find out who he was. I don't know him, but I know I've seen him on TV before.
Okay, that's fine. It's possible. Okay, let's move on. CM, who is the next person?
After B Victor, it should be God's power. God's power.
Okay, God's power, please.
God's power, young. He wears Barcelona shirt. Like
unmute yourself, God's power, please. Your network is always unfriendly.
Yeah, are you sure you haven't missed me?
Where were you now?
Okay, let God's power go ahead, sir. We don't have time now. God's power, we can't hear you.
Well, first of all, First of all, can you hear me now?
Yes. Okay, yes, go ahead.
Okay, first of all, I want to say thank you to everybody, the lover of truth. I don't want to talk much. Like they said, show me your friend. I will tell you who you are. Immediately said is a friend to immediately professor. These are the ones that we should call professors. These are the ones that we should call our son. These are the ones that we should call barristers of integrity, that they can defend their certificate, what they are holding, not those ones that they drop for a piece of meat. That man spotted it. I know him very well. He's an activist. He has been fighting for human rights for long. So I'm so glad and I'm so overwhelmed for me to join the broadcast, to be on live with him. Only that one is give me joy because he hasn't moved away from what he stands for. And I keep praying that God should continue to be expanding such kind of people. Because they used to make a popular statement that all liars are liars, all lawyers are liars. But I stood my ground that not all of them. Some are distinct, just like they said, all policemen are receiver of bribe on the roads or whatever. But I know there's still some ones that stood their ground to have a good integrity. He spotted it all, and he said a lot of things concerning our judiciary. And one thing I noticed about him is a reflection of this Professor Olisa Abakuba. They are just like very of the same feather. They spot everything all. And one thing that all Nigerians should be asking themselves, that we all know the truth, that these people cannot offer us anything, and yet you will not see somebody that will still be dangly, that will be going up and down. The one that even pay me past is people that come to overs, that see development, that see everything, that that these people have been making their overs as their bed of rose. Let's assume the foreign country that all of them run to come and take medication and vacation, did not make their house in order. Will they be proud to come there? This thing should be a shame of them. Sometimes when I see the way they travel, they troop out to go on medical trip, whether vacation, whatever. You know, I always be ashamed of them. Like they said something, a madman does not have a shame. It's only the family of mad people that always gets ashamed. Okay, imagine all of them. Wale showing all of them. They know that the system is failed. That is why all of them go on Ezra and go and run and hide here. Imagine, these are the people that they are claiming that they are fighting for a democracy. But you see all of them, they know within their heart, within their mind, that they don't stand to have a good quality or a good, what is it called? An integrity. That is why they give up. They only come and be used because of a pen, a penny. You know, sometimes I imagine myself when I see what professors stand for. A professor are kind of people that they lead people into a right direction. Just like I say, Professor Plum Mulumba, look at that man. Look at when he talks, when they invite him. He said it the way he is. He doesn't even care whether, you know, and look at Melama of South Africa. Look, some of the professors, the ones that claim that they are professors, the ones that that claim they are lawyers, they stand for the right. But look at what we have in Nigerians. Most of them are still defending. You see somebody who come and defend a crook, a drug baron, and you call yourself to be a lawyer. Shame onto all of them. Are you there?
Okay, I think the last person who is okay, Obibueze, I thought you spoken. Chooks, Obibu. Okay, it's not here.
No, I haven't. CM.
Okay. Okay, yeah. Chooks is the final person now.
But do you think we can work with this time? I have 15 minutes. I've created another one.
Yeah, yes, we can. 5 minutes should be enough for Chooks. 3 to 5 minutes, then
okay,
we move.
Mr. Shoes, please use 2 minutes then. Yes, because I need time to round up. I will have a dinner here.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Elvis. CM, thank you. I think you are enjoying this job. Yeah, Mr. Elvis, thank you once again for making it possible for us, to speak to one of the great Nigerians. He spoke well. I remember the day you played the video where he talked about the guy that went naked, and the human form in him, showed on that day. And I remember everybody, spoke on it, and we prayed for him, and I will continue to pray for him, to give him life, give him health. We all had him today. He promised to continue that fight. He will never stop. Yes, that's the kind of thing, he came here to tell us. Give us that hope that one day Nigeria will be great. And we can see it. His final word is he advised whoever that emerges to look into the Constitution. Because that is the problem we have. Everybody knows the problem. But the will to solve it is what is not there. To Naija, you asked the question, what did we No, I'm not going there. You asked the question, what was the most important thing we take out of his statement? And that is a good question. The most important thing I took out of his statement is he made us to understand that whatever happened, that place, the seat of Aso Rock will not be vacant. And he preferred democratic way. And I think that resonates with everybody right now. So we will continue our fight. It doesn't matter what happened. And like he said, those judges, they are human beings. They all have families. They all live there. So with this, I hope the right thing must be done. Thank you. I yield here.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. We have Engineer Ken. Engineer Ken, please Use 2 minutes, talk to us. We are rounding up now. I don't want us to continue with the second broadcast.
Yes, Mr. Naija.
Thank you, sir. Are you available to speak? There's some noise coming from you, sir.
Yeah, I just left the living room now, so I'm available.
Okay,
Can
go
you hear
ahead.
me?
2 minutes, sir. Only 2 minutes. Go ahead.
Yeah, my 2 minutes is this. I don't like what CM said. You know, CM.
Yes, please.
Yeah, when I was talking, I was agreeing with so B. Naija was just trying to like talk to me, tell me like I don't have enough time. You know, I heard you utter one word that Engineer Ken is always like this. What do you mean by that?
No.
He was
playing.
No,
he was joking.
I know.
Listen to what you said. You said
I know.
Ken is always like this.
Yeah. You know.
So what do you
yes,
mean by that, CM?
What I mean, it was a joke. I just wanted you to.
No, you don't joke like that. You don't
Okay, I'm
joke like
sorry.
that. When
Okay,
people
I'm
that
sorry.
doesn't
I
know
will.
you,
I withdraw
when
it.
they hear
It's
that
okay.
from you,
Say sorry. It's okay.
I do
Ken, say sorry
I do
now.
apologize.
Please don't stop this.
Engineer Ken, I do
Say
apologize.
sorry. Please, let's move on. Please.
I
don't
do
have the time.
apologize. Find it in your heart to forget it, please. That's okay. Thank you. Thank you. It wasn't meant to be.
He's done. He's done already. Please.
Malignant. Sorry,
all right.
Engineer Ken.
For me, I see that as a joke. Once somebody says sorry, we just move on. I don't know why we have to create problem from
a joke.
Exactly. Me myself, everybody see that thing as a joke. Now, I don't understand sometimes.
I'm sorry,
we are lovely people. We are not a camp of enemies. We love our
came because of that.
Engineer Ken, don't take it to heart. I was just joking.
Thank you very much, my people. I appreciate every one of you. We need to round up right now. I want to thank every one of you that exercise patience for us to have our senior advocate, Chief Professor Mike Ozekhome here today. I appreciate you all. Now, God will bless you now. Thank you so much, all my panelists. For those of you who will not pass your question, I beg no verse. You understand the guy in try, he spent almost 2 hours here, he never planned to do that though. But thank you very much. I appreciate every one of you. May God bless you all. And for those of you that super chatted us,
Naija Watch have been left behind though. I've not spoken
sir, I'm so sorry. We'll do that next time, sir. We don't have time anymore. Please understand.
I did not speak a single word.
Who is talking? Who is talking?
Victor.
Oh, okay. Oh, Mr. Victor, so sorry. So sorry. I didn't notice they didn't call you at all. Oh, but I don't worry. I'll give you 2 minutes to talk to us. Just hold on. All right. I appreciate every one of you. Thank you very much. We have a poll here. I don't really want to continue with the second broadcast. If not, I would have continued. But I'm tired. I can't lie to anybody. So continue with the second broadcast now might affect us. So let appreciate every one of you. Please, you guys that shared, thank you. You guys that like the broadcast as well. I appreciate you all. Please press the like button before you go. I really appreciate every one of you that have already liked. And for those of you that super chatted us, we want to say thank you so much. Now God bless you now. We really do appreciate this as well. Let me quickly see if I can mention this. Prophet, thank you so much. We appreciate you. Lady Eugenia, thank you. Janet, Bella, Naomi, Ed Talk Supplement, thank you. Appreciate you all. Jaja, thank you so much. Amadatu Sabi, Sam Gilmed, Dr. Alexander Gomez, thank you very much, my good people. Appreciate you all. Coach, we see you right there. Thank you so much. May God bless you all. I want to be Ferdinand. Thank you, my people. And yes, the poll. As for the poll, remember we bring out a poll every day. Yes, this is the poll for today. It's the same question, but I just like to carry everybody along. This is the let me put it on the screen anyway. Just give me, yeah, that is it right there. We got 1,050 votes today. What will happen in May 29 and what will be the court's decision? 79% said the decision will be Peter Obi's favor, and 10% for Tinubu, 7% interim government taking over, and fresh election will be conducted for 4%. Thank you very much, my people. I appreciate you all. Let me quickly go back to Mr. Victor. 1 minute. Just talk to us to 1 minute. We are closing now. We're working with time. So sorry.
Okay, I'll try to be very quick.
1 minute, sir.
Yeah, I'll try to be very quick. Someone asked Professor Ozekhome what his opinion was on Wole Soyinka's remarks, and he deliberately did not answer that question, and I understand why. But the reason I want to say that is because he has already answered the question. If you look at what he said when he was mentioning that you have to win 2/3, which is 24 states, and FCT, he even went further to explain that, look, if you want to gain admission to university, and they say you must have mathematics, you need 5 credits from different subjects and mathematics. That means if you have 10 credits even, and you don't have that mathematics, that you will have to go and receive the exam again, you know. And then Nneobi's question to him as well, asking him what.
Okay, Mr. Victor, yes, I did not look at the comment section. I can see more people in the likes of Madarita, Pansat, and many others right there. They want us to create another broadcast so that I will not rush you. So let me give you a link now. Join the new broadcast. Let's end this one so that you guys can have the opportunity to speak. Just stay there. I'm going to post a link for everyone here. You know, then I'll not put it on a public space so that Mr. Pansat and Madarita to come in. You know, we can move on. Just hold on. Just hold on. The broadcast have been created. I never wanted to do it, but my attention was drawn to that people in the comment section were responding to my own and others. I not see them at all. You know, see this our work. It's not very easy. Please, everyone, just hold on. Hold on, sir. Just hold on, please. Hold on, sir. Please hold on, because I'm multitasking, a lot to do. Okay, I've posted the link on the private chat. You guys join the new broadcast now.
Exactly. Naija what, but you must know that Nana Americans they wake up for sleep. So
no problem. Anywhere where we tire, we'll move on. Sir, hold on. We don't have time for this. Just pause. Right. You can say anything. Hold on, please, everybody, please. You can say whatever you want to say from the other broadcast, please. Click on it, join that broadcast. I want to put it on the public. If you're not wait there, you're not quick click, and I want to put it on the public as well, so that people there can come in. You know, let me put it on the public space. Click on it. CM, I bet click on them and join as well. It's very important. 1 minute, my people.
I don't join.
Okay.
I did backstage now.
All right. The link have been posted on the public space. Please, guys, you guys use that. Thank you. Let me end this one right away, and then let's start the new one so that we can have enough time to talk. Now, God bless all of you. Thank you, my people. 1 minute. Oh God, I'm trying to do this everywhere. Okay, yeah.